All right, one more, guys. Korie Black. One of the positions we talked about in this draft is saying I wouldn't mind getting just to get some depth is corner. Korie Black is where he went out of Oklahoma State. 6 foot even, 192 pounds. No age listed for him. Usually I like to give you guys the age. But he was a fifth-year senior, so he played 5 years in college. So that tells you he's probably right around 23 years old, you got to think. Originally from Waco, Texas. A guy that a lot of people didn't have a lot of interest in right off the bat, but he got a lot of attention after a really impressive pro day that OSU threw. Ran like a 4.340, which again you can't teach speed. This past season, 12 games, 36 tackles, 3 interceptions, 9 passes deflected, a 73.9 PFF. As far as where he played at, it's primarily an outside corner. 600 snaps at outside corner, 44 in the slot. They actually put him at the line 15 times, 24 at a box safety, and 7 as a deep safety. So again, you're looking at 90+% of his snaps were at the outside corner position there, where he's going to be looked to develop at there. But I think his big thing with him is he's also flashed a lot of special teams ability. At his time there at Oklahoma State, he also blocked multiple kicks. It's something I've seen him do a couple times when I watched the tape on him there. So I think the Giants probably saw some interest in him as a special teamer and as a corner they can go ahead and try to develop there. Lance Zierlein of NFL.com said he's a 3-year starter with great size, elite speed, and experience in multiple schemes. Flashes lockdown potential with strong route anticipation and physicality at the catch point. Now, I will say this. I will never say a seventh-round pick flashes lockdown potential. That to me is a little extreme. But I do see as a guy who can go ahead and potentially develop while he's learning the game, he's a decent contributor on special teams. That's not bad. That's something I can take and be okay with. Again, 7th-round pick. Can't have extremely crazy, expectations. Ian Cummings from PFSN says, late to the party here, but Oklahoma State cornerback Korie Black is a baller. Caught my eye in 23, and looking back on his career best 2024, he's got the goods. 4.35 speed, 39-inch vertical, and it shows in his click and close and responsiveness over breaks. Fast-paced mover in every sense. Here's their write-up from 33rd team on him. Positives: feisty catch point defender that uses his length to reach and separate receivers from the football. Explosive straight line and vertical speed to play on the perimeter and stay in phase. Has good bounce out of his transitions to cut routes in front of his face. Negative: consistency in route recognition and spacing and zone coverage is a work in progress. Press technique can lead to some easier releases through the contact window than you prefer, and discipline has been steadily improving with hand usage downfield, but he's been tagged with 13 total flags in the last 3 seasons. So again, I can see the Giants and why they're intrigued by this kid. He's got the physical tools. He's got some stuff you don't like as far as route recognition, the use of the hands, that kind of stuff where you can go, okay, is this a coachability thing? Can we coach him? Now, they brought him in for a top 30 visit. So that tells you right there the Giants were interested in what they saw on film. They probably, if I'm them, probably like what they saw on film, like we did this pro day. So you know what? Let's actually get to talk to this kid and see if he's coachable. We talked about with the Shedeur Sanders thing. Brian Daboll is the guy when he interviews you for a draft visit, he doesn't just sit there and shoot the breeze with you. He's going to throw things at you. And I guarantee they threw things at this kid to see what he knew. And what they weren't necessarily looking for were the right answers, and that's going to sound a little weird for a minute. What they weren't necessarily looking for is, they weren't necessarily looking for the right answers, looking for that he put the work in, and that if they corrected him and they went back to it again in that same conversation, did he use the right answer at that time? That's what they're looking for. Because there's a lot of times you bring somebody in and you can find out really quickly in that scenario. Is it a coachability thing, or is it a lack of them picking it up and grasping it? I don't want to say they're dumb, but a lack of grasping what you're teaching them. You want to know that you got somebody who's coachable and teachable there. So obviously that's what they felt, but this move. So they drafted him again. That's their last pick 246. This was the pick they got from Buffalo, actually, when they swapped 6th and 7th round picks with the Buffalo Bills there for the Boogie Basham trade there. So if you're wondering, that's why we didn't have a 6th pick, a 6th round pick, and why we had an extra 7th round. This was a 6th and 7th swap. So our 6th round pick went to the Bills. We got their 7th round pick. So like I said, not a bad pick up there at this point. Again, you get a kid that's very gifted athletically, that obviously the Giants see some potential to teach him some things and hopefully improve his play overall. And in the meantime, like I said, worst case scenario, he's a special teams guy there. Like I said, you watch the tape on him and you will see that they'll throw it in. He goes on the outside edge and he just blocked a couple of kicks there in his time at Oklahoma State. That's something that some people have the ability to do and some people flat out don't. He does.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you.